We're joined by Quirien from Shell. Quirien, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Shell operates on a global scale with a very diverse customer base. How do you think about delivering a strong and consistent brand experience across different markets?
Well, let me cut that question into two pieces. Yeah. So how have we've done that so far, and how I think the future will evolve. I think so far we've been spending a lot of time actually co-locating in 3 different business centers our activities. That offers us a lot of upside on the operational excellence because we're co-locating things. If you do something more often, you get better at it. But still, we would have a regional focus. So our European customers are served from Europe, for instance. At the same time, if I'm looking forward, in the phase of AI, things will get. That's the theme I think during the conference. Everybody has AI on their name tag nowadays. But if you look at AI, what you will actually see is that those regional differences, will actually also cause a challenge because if we want to move into more automation, agentic AI, etc., you'll actually see that you can't tweak as easy anymore as we've done in the past. So how do we find the balance going forward between the flexibility and serving customers the way they want to be served, yet make sure we leverage all the automation that is out there, which will benefit the customer as well from an efficiency point of view, a price point of view, etc.
You're overseeing the company's digital transformation efforts. Tell me, how do you evaluate which digital innovations to scale and which to keep as experiments?
Well, we always start small, you always start small with the first wave, first test. But I think there's some core capabilities any company would need at some point, whether that's a configure price quote tool or your CRM system. So there the question is not really what do I want to have, but how fast do I want to go, with whom, with what vendor do I want to go, and how do I want to implement? So I think you'll have those questions, and then still you'll have a stacked approach to how you get things live. But then there are other things that are nice to have. You might have niche use cases there where you really want to experiment. So looking at what I'm, looking at my roadmap right now, I'm looking in how I could use live language translations, not because I think it can be scaled all across or I think it's going to be a core capability, but there's some use cases, that it could be useful for, and let's test it. The key thing is, by definition, most digital projects will fail. Whether you talk to Bain, McKinsey, KPMG, they'll all say they'll fail. And they're right. So the trick is, every failure, you need to learn from. And you can only learn from it if you don't get fired. So you better make sure you don't spend all of the money on one project.
And digital transformation in industries like energy is perhaps disproportionately complex. What have been some of your key learnings from driving change in such an environment?
It's a good point. I mean, our company started around the same time that telephony started by Graham Bell. So it's that old, just imagine. And we're a traditional business for the most part. We're getting into the EV space now, which is digital by nature almost, and so are the competitors. So you need to sync up with that. But you're absolutely right. Most people in our company feel comfortable with emails and Excel. That gives you full flexibility. Everything is unstructured. Of course, there are processes and there are manual of authorities to be followed, but you could basically offer anything to anybody at any time. And I think moving towards a much more automated system is important in the long run. Now, how you do that, I think, is to make sure you plan for that failure. So by default, if you start a project, the best you get out of it is a minimum value product. We've all learned Agile in the last couple of years, but even before that, the product you would be delivering in the 18 months, 2 years within that budget was never what you started off with. I mean, I've never been in a project where things were cheaper and were easier to begin with. So it's always a compromise. Now, the problem is that if your budget, and your planning only allows you to work up until that go live, you probably get a 6 out of 10. And then as time moves on and people are complaining about your product, giving feedback and nothing happens, this 6 will go into a 5, into a 4. People will revert back to starting email and to using email and Excel again. So the trick is, plan ahead. Yeah, I mean, be honest to yourself. Maybe you should, already accept a lower return on investment. Well, once your product is live, depending on how complex it is, but plan for another 18 months, yeah, where you actually move this product from an MVP, a minimum viable product, to an MDP, yeah, the most desired product. Because once people start to use the tool day in, day out, and your adoption is up, that's when your ROI actually comes in. And I think people let go too easy.
Yeah. And finally, Quirien, what advice do you have for other leaders who are looking to embed a digital first mindset into traditional established companies like Shell?
Opinions don't matter. Yeah, it's facts. So don't try to convince the entire C-level suite. It's not going to happen. But find one person that wants to take the leap of faith with you, test something, show the facts, and then go back to the others.
Great advice. Quirien, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Simon.